Hey there guys, my name is Kayla and I have an 8-year-old son named Shane with autism. I created this as a space to share my resources and experiences and hopefully improve the lives of some families living with autism. In today's video, I want to share with you how I was able to work with my son Shane to get him to recognize his name and answer to his name more easily and quickly. Shane's 8 now, so for a while he's been answering to his name, but I do remember what it was like to call your child's name and not have him answer. The number one tip I'm going to give you is just stop using your child's name as much. As parents, usually when we're using our child's name, it's because we are trying to get something from them. For example, we want them to stop doing something. Shane, stop pulling your sister's hair. Shane, don't do that. Shane, don't run in the street. Shane, come here. You're attaching their name generally to a demand. And for a child who is struggling to understand language and how to communicate, associating their name constantly with a demand can be very, very stressful for them, and it makes it so that they just want to disassociate from their name. I know it must sound crazy that using my son's name less actually made it easier for him to respond to his name more, but that is the case. I worked with his speech therapist. She gave me a lot of amazing tips, and simply put, she said, associate his name with positive reinforcements. And that's exactly what I did at home. I would wait till Shane was in a good mood, happily playing by himself, available to, interact with. And I would grab a positive reinforcement. At the time, Shane loved bubbles. And I would approach him, always make sure I had his attention. Like if the kid is distracted or doing something else that they're not willing to part with, it's not gonna work. But wait till they're available and happy. And I grabbed a positive reinforcement. I'd come over to him, tap him gently on the shoulder. I'd say, hey Shane. And when he looked at me, and I don't mean make eye contact, I mean just looks in my direction, I would blow bubbles. Shane loved bubbles at the time, and he would laugh and joke. And then I'd wait a few minutes and I would do it again. And then later in the day, I would do that again. And I just continued to do that. I would use different positive reinforcements, a smarty here, a big hug, a smile, whatever your child likes and works for you. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be bubbles, just something that they really like and can associate with their name. Eventually you can remove the positive reinforcements and just sort of remove yourself physically so that you're not always having to tap them on the shoulder. Like within a couple weeks of doing that, I could be on the other side of the room and I'd say, hey Shaney, and he would look and I would smile and just say, mommy loves you, and then he would go back to doing whatever he was doing. But the key was I associated his name with positive reinforcements, and eventually I could remove the reinforcements and just say his name, and he's 8 now and he responds to his name 99.9% of the time. Teaching a child with autism a new concept like responding to their name is definitely a marathon and not a race. Take your time and introduce these new concepts slowly, and hopefully within a couple weeks, like it was for us, your child will be responding to their name. I hope you enjoyed this video and the tips were helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I try to post videos every Wednesday, Sunday for sure. So if you liked it, hit the subscribe button to find out what I'm going to share next.